Hello, here we're going to look at 1.1, solving equations. And the why is that linear equations help us solve for a missing piece of information if we know all of the other variables. Later in the year, we will also be able to solve for equations with multiple missing variables called systems of equations. And this skill is the most valuable and essential of all mathematical skills. Some generic examples of times where we use solving equations could be for unit conversions, finding requirements such as what you need on a test to pass a class, budgeting for how you plan on spending your money or how much you should be spending in certain areas, and then finding sizes for things such as how much space is left on an iPad device after you download a certain app or file. We use equations in our regular day lives all of the time. So I encourage you to think about what are some scenarios where you can use equation solving skills. And if you think about it long enough, you'll think of countless amounts of times where you use equations. One could be, if I take this much pizza, how much pizza will be left for the rest of the people I'm sharing it with? Another example would be deciding what time you need to leave so that you can travel somewhere on time. There's some key vocabulary words to solving equations and dealing with some of the different components. So we're going to take some time and write these down and quickly discuss them. The first one is an expression. An expression is a mathematical statement with no equal sign. So an expression has no equal sign. These cannot be solved. An example of an expression would be 2x plus 8, to where if I gave someone 2x plus 8, they cannot tell me what x equals because there's no equal sign for any solving to take place. So an expression is not an equation because it has no equal sign. But the way that plays in is that an equation are two expressions that are equal to one another. So the key component of an equation is that it needs to have an equal sign. So if I take our same 2x plus 8, and now I set it equal to anything else, let's say 7, now I have an equation because I've got two sides on the equation separated by an equal sign. And then that leaves us to what we're ultimately solving for, which is a solution. The solution is the value that makes an equation true. So if we have an equation, the solution would be as if you substituted it back into the equation, that it would make both sides correct and balanced. Here's an example. If we are looking at 2x plus 3 is equal to an 11 as an equation, and we solved it and got the answer of x is equal to 4, 4 would be a solution because when I substitute it back in to the equation, we get a true statement to where 8 plus 3 is equal to 11. So we could say 11 is equal to 11. 4 would be that solution for x. Now, alongside of equations are some properties of equality that can be explained in non-mathematical terms as well as mathematical terms. So what we're going to do here is take a look at this chart and look at properties of equality. And these are things that we also use in regular day life that we might not put these names on it. We might not call it the reflexive and symmetric and transitive property. But these are the official mathematical names as well as substitution. And these are things that we use to compare things often in the real world, especially in sports when trying to decide what team is better than other teams based upon records and previous wins and losses. There's something called the reflexive property. The reflexive property says that for any number a number is always equal to itself. 7 is equal to 7. And even if you make it larger, b plus 12 would always be equal to b plus 12. Seems like a silly thing to make a special note of, but that's sometimes used in logical arguments. If a person is talking about two separate things that are really the same, that's the reflexive property, because something is always equal to itself. The symmetric property says that if A is equal to B, then also B is equal to A, to where it's symmetric. You can flip it around and view it from both directions. To where if 18 is equal to negative 2n plus 4, then also negative 2n plus 4 is equal to 18. And this is important because sometimes students get so used to y equals mx plus b as their slope-intercept, they'll have something like this: 2x plus 4 is equal to y. This is the property that allows us to simply switch spots, so that now we can have y is equal to 2x plus 4 if you wanted to have your y on the left. When you do that, you're using the symmetric property. The transitive property is that for all real numbers a, b, and c, if a equals b and b equals c, then we get an overall link that a is equal to c. And this is one that you'll see in sports sometimes, to where if this team beat that team and then that team beat that team, that even though maybe a and c haven't played, we can draw some conclusions about what might happen. So here we see that if 5p plus 3 is equal to 48, and 48 is equal to 7p minus 15, we can really just set 5p plus 3 equal to 7p minus 15. And then finally, the substitution property, that if a is equal to b, then a may be replaced by b, and b may be replaced by a. I'm going to change this example here for us. So the substitution property allows us to do some easy substitution, and we'll do this when we're solving systems of equations, to where if we have an equation like y is equal to 2x plus 5, and we have another one where y is equal to 3x plus 4, then what we can do is, under this property, that if y is equal to 2x plus 5, we could change this y to also become a 2x plus 5. So we can now say 2x plus 5 is equal to 3x plus 4. And that'll be how we use the substitution property later this year. In order to be able to solve equations, it's going to be important to take scenarios where we're taking things from words and expressing it into a mathematical expression, which, remember, means that there is no equal sign. And this has us use some old terms to help us break things down. So this says 2 more than the quotient of a number and 5. Whenever we're writing equations to help solve some of our own personal real-world problems, we need to be able to design our own equations. They're not going to magically be given to us. And that's what this is all about. It has us using these concepts of where addition may mean the word sum or add, subtraction may mean difference, and then where we have multiplication means product or multiply, and division is quotient. With this, so this says 2 more than the quotient of a number and 5. I'm going to let my number just be a variable, because that's what it's essentially asking, and I'm going to use the letter n. So when it says 2 more than, so I'm going to have something plus 2. So 2 more than the quotient of a number, so a number in the quotient means division 5. This means n divided by 5 plus 2. This is just an expression because there is no equal sign. And this could very well be a scenario that might come up for a situation to where you're going out to dinner with 5 people and you're going to split the bill and also cover the tip. So you're paying $2 no matter what. And then the other amount of money that you'll be spending is the price of the meal, the letter M, divided by 5. So you all could split it 5 ways, and then you also pay 2 additional dollars. But that's what taking these things and writing them into expressions would help us understand. This says 1 less than twice the square of a number. So 1 less than means we're going to need to take care of this part first. Twice the square of a number. Well, twice means times 2. So a number squared. And then we can bring in 1 less, because we need to know whatever the initial amount is, and then 1 less. So there can be an infinite amount of these that are given to you, to where they say all sorts of combinations of sum, add, difference, product, quotient, and you'll just use your abilities to take those terms in your understanding of variables and create expressions that match. This chart is a more formal spot for us to write down what these things mean. To where addition could mean sum, add, more. Subtraction could be less than, could be difference, or it could also be, they might just say, subtract. For multiplication, they may say product. They may say multiply. Or they might say, double, triple, twice, 3 times, any of those types of scenarios as well. And then for division, they're more so going to have to say divide by, quotient, or split into equal parts, like if I said we're splitting a bill 5 ways.